Right, the first thing we have to do is check the fitment in the root of the fuselage here. Now, the prototype didn't have these lock nuts on. Sorry, blind nuts. This one does, and they protrude up slightly. So what we need to do first is to be able to make sure the wings fit properly, is get it in the center, which is about there, and then mark where these guys go. And I'm going to give them an extra 1/4 inch at the back and about 3/8 at the front, because sometimes, depending on what size motor goes in, the retract box can be moved forward or backwards ever so slightly. So we have to basically put some recesses into the wings so that they're in the mold and you don't have to be done afterwards. So they're always ready to fit. So we've got good fitment here. It's a little tight. We'll shave a little bit off the trailing edge. So what I'm going to do right now is just put the wings together, pretty much line them up. Alrighty, got these cut out. So in my hand right now is some 3mm plywood. But that's only giving me a depth of maybe 3/32 on both of them. So I'd really like to have at least an 1/8. So what I'm going to do is use this credit card blank, which will give me damn near 1/4 inch. Now the beauty of it is the fill for this 3D print was done in gyroid at about, I think, 15 to 20%. So there's lots of fill in there. So I'll just use the expandable foam, the Gorilla Glue, wet it down inside, put the glue in liberally, lots of it, and then wet it down, let it expand, get these cut to size, put some weight on them. It doesn't matter if they're not absolutely the same. Try and get them close though. And then I'll fill it with body filler, but I'm going to put a chamfer on it so it has like a rolled edge both in the corners and everything, and that will stop me getting well, it will reduce me getting the chance of voids in that deep cavity, because the last thing I want is voids. Now I have all the cavities cut out. You can see kind of rough in there. So what I'm going to do is just give this a little blast of water. Same with this one. This will help this really expand up. And then we're just going to liberally coat the whole thing and let it just blow out of there. Trying to get it on the edges, on the high spots. No point putting on the low spots because it's not going to reach anything. All right, I think we got that. I'll do the same to this where I got it. I guess I should get that shot right. Same with that. Probably too much water on that. I like to get carried away with my water. Okay, press it all out. Stick this on. Press it out. Push it in. Stick this on. And then we'll just clean up any excess here. Right, let's see how our boys did here. Okay, a bit of glue there. Hey, it looks okay. Yeah, it looks pretty good. With the credit card blank now in place, I've added the filler, I've chamfered the edges, and I'm just squaring up the root a little bit, clean up everything, and then we'll move on to the next phase. Alrighty, I had a bit of a cock up here when I was doing the 3D drawing. I did the landing gear hold down plate into the wing skin, which is wrong. So it gets put in from the inside when you've got the mold all made and everything. So now I have to go around and fill it all and level out the wings. So what I've done is made a 1/8 plastic template, which I fitted into the recess, and that's going to help guide the filler to give me a nice clean edge. Now, to separate from the filler when it's hardened, what you do is just add a thin film of Vaseline on, in this case, the white template, and it'll help pull it away without breaking the filler. Anyhow, check it out. You'll see it in a minute. So prior to lifting the template out, it's a good idea when the filler is hard just to sand around the actual edge of the filler and the template itself. This will just reduce any thick parts which might grab the template and therefore break the edge of the filler. So after sanding, pulling the template out left a fairly clean edge, which just needs a little bit of a minor sanding. So now I'll just level everything out, clean the edges up, and we'll be good to go. Alright, the recesses have now been cut in. I've used this template so both of them are equal on each wing. The nice thing about this is the landing gear cover will fit flush, so it's out of the airflow. This is where the flap servo goes, so it's a cover to it's a cover to fit that. That fits flush in. Same for the aileron over here. So, why did I go to all this trouble to make these recesses? Well, this gets cut out in the composite wing and the wheel can go all the way down. Once I cut this section out here on the inside of these lines, then that's going to create a lip or a shelf that if this is the gear door cover, it will come in and it'll be able to sit on the shelf. So it'll be nice and secure and it can be adjusted so it looks perfect. It's aerodynamic and everything. So these have all been done. I'm going to hit them with a high build primer now, then they'll need some final sanding. The trailing edge has been cleaned up, it just needs to be sanded down, and then basically we just have to go over the whole thing and give it a nice level surface. These guys here for those battery bolts to recess in for the blind nuts. One thing we do have to do is on this side is the two sides of the wing or the root section, there's going to be a third piece which is shaped to the contours of the fuselage, because on the Tucano it's quite a complex little cover. The speed brake's going to sit about here, and it's fairly big, about the space of my fingers, and it's about this, so it comes up like that. So we're just going to have to figure it out, which we'll do in the 3D drawing in the CAD, to figure out how much of a recess needs to go in to here for the speed brake servo. Well, thank you all for watching. I appreciate any input from you. I'd love you to like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of new updates. What you see in the video right now is just a little bit of a teaser. We took a little break for a couple of days and decided to add all the grills, some of the scale detail to the fuselage. We've added those rear fins, or strakes, I'm not sure what they call them. And we've given it a lick of paint. Now there is a few spots which need to be fixed up, cleaned up, but that's no problem. This adding the paint actually shows up any blemishes that we need to fix. You can see that all the rivet detail, the grills, the panel lines, screws, just come up beautiful. I'm really pleased with it. It looks real good, and you can see the grills look quite realistic. If you notice on the grills, they're supposed to be louvered, but you know, it's kind of hard to do a louver. So what I did is I put those little angles on, which kind of simulate a louver. It's even got a scale intake at the front there. It's not been installed yet, but it's a scale, and it actually does suck up in a lot of air. This is where the ESC goes, right, where the intake scoop is. So it's readily accessible through the nose door there, and it gets a lot of cooling. Anyhow, great stuff. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Come back soon. There's going to be many but more detailed videos. Thank you. Have a great day.